Yo, what's up, guys? Robbie here with a solo episode of the Coast to Coast Traders podcast, September 28th. And unfortunately, Joe had a really busy week, so he couldn't make it today. And with this news, I just felt like I wanted to strike while the iron's hot. So just going to get right into it, just talking about some of the quick topics. It's going to be a short one today. Patrick Wieland noticed that we clickbaited with his name, on one of our episodes recently. There's some huge drama at the BDH house. Patrick had a competition. We're going to talk about that. And I'll get into that because that's probably going to be the meat and potatoes. But I wanted to just talk quickly about September bearish seasonality because I don't know, man. I think the bears might have gone into hibernation because although we started out with a really big gap down on the SPY, we recovered basically 32 points, to the high anyway, closing out September as a really, really strong monthly candle here. Check this out. Right, so don't know what the future's going to hold, but I also just wanted to talk quickly about Google. Definitely an indicator that I'm watching for long-term pullbacks opportunities. Not to say that we're going to get one, but if there was any bad news to come about this Google Gemini event, or something that the market just doesn't interpret as being very bullish, then this could provide a potential opportunity for people to scoop up some Google shares at a discount. Currently trading quite nicely into the 250s, just recently. So just gonna get right into it. We got this X post, a PW effect, made a video about me, gets 1,000 views. I mean, hey, it is what it is, guys. I mean, yeah, that was kind of the goal from the start. Uh, he did get caught. He says he got caught winning, and he definitely did win the trade. But just because we disagreed with the trade that he took doesn't mean that where there's any blanket hostility or negativity towards Patrick. He does his own thing, we do our thing, and just there was just nothing more about that. So bigger news here. Was that there was some drama at his studio. So his place, the BDH house, he decided to bring some women on to have a friendly competition. Terri, I believe, and Rina, and they basically were going to do a trading competition. Winner takes $25,000 cash prize, and I actually hadn't heard anything about these two gals prior to this news incident, but basically, the girl that basically left the competition, or I guess wasn't asked to come back to the house. Her name was Rina. She's a big ICT trader, so she kind of vented some frustrations on X, basically saying that she wasn't feeling like she was able to talk about her strategy so much, and that she was repeatedly called the R word, retard. I listened to the first day, I think almost 2 hours worth. I don't believe I heard anything like that once. I don't think I heard Patrick say anything really negative towards her. Yeah, he talked down about ICT, but never directly to Rena herself. I didn't have a link to the day 2 episode, but I also did watch and listen to about an hour and a half of day 3, and it did get a little more heated on day 3, but it still wasn't like really that bad. Like there was an incident where she was trying to say something about ICT, and and also a lot of the times when she was talking, she would also try to like be anti-combative and say stuff like, "Hey, we're not really in disagreement here." She's just kind of trying to talk about how she interprets the market using ICT terminology and that stuff. But here's the thing: you get invited to somebody's house, or any show, competition, whatever. They're putting up airfare, they're putting up hotels and food and stuff. And in this case, she knows well beforehand that she's kind of coming into the lion's den, because she should know that Patrick is not a fan of ICT, right? So you should expect that you're probably going to have to put up with some crap, maybe some shit talking a little bit, and just be ready to defend your position, or at the very least, take your punches on the chin and try to prove that your methodology can help you win this competition in trading. And it just didn't. She just, in my opinion, she just didn't have the mental fortitude to handle that. To handle it, I really don't think that PW was that bad. Like on the last day that I heard, she was saying something, and Patrick was like, "If I have to hear one more thing about," I don't even remember what it was, and then but he didn't even go on to say like anything else. They just kept like kind of having an argument back and forth, and that's kind of like when Rena's like stormed off, I think. And so yeah, it's just unfortunate that she wasn't able to stick it out and to see how she might have potentially won the competition. I actually don't remember what what the numbers were between anyone, but I do know for certain that both of these women were actually fighting the trend quite massively on the first day, which was Monday. So if we just take a look at the SPY really quick, I think they were actually both trading. I think they were both actually trading NQ. But regardless, Monday was a very, very bullish day. And I just think it's quite funny, because Joe and I called out Patrick for fighting the trend and shorting the all-time highs. And ironically, he's telling these women, why are you why are you shorting? You should never be shorting against previous day highs or when we're above previous day highs and stuff. So I just thought it was a little bit funny, a little maybe ironic that he's kind of maybe do as I say, not as I do. Although he was taking long trades, I don't remember him necessarily showing which trades he took. Um, but I mean, obviously that's good advice. If there's a trend, obviously it makes more sense to go with the tide of the market. It's a lot easier to get a bigger move if the market's just going to keep running. I mean, obviously, we never know that it's going to do that, but usually you can find good price action setups to trade alongside the trend. And so yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I don't really know why these girls were fighting the trend on that day. I don't really recall any of them specifically saying what their trade thesis was. I mean, if you have a short thesis, uh, I don't know. Like just from my trading style, I have no clue what that would have looked like on a day like that. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. So it's sad that um, that competition, that she wasn't able to stay there for the whole time. But I don't necessarily blame PW for removing her from the show. As far as I know, he still paid for the airfare in the hotel and everything. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just thought that was actually kind of cool. Originally, the idea, of having two traders to kind of like battle it out, especially from two very different um, trading styles. Of course, ICT is very notorious, and that could have been actually really really cool publicity for ICT if she was able to stick it out and maybe not even win, but just have like a positive trading week, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. All I really wanted to talk about. If any of you guys watched any of that drama, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're looking for any bullish or bearish dips, what kind of stocks are you guys looking to buy on a pullback? Should those occur, let us know about that in the comments. And if you're new, welcome. Hope to see you in the next one. But appreciate you guys all for joining just in this really really short episode. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate you. Peace.